run with the place.
It ends tonight.
I know it does. I've seen it.
Afternoon, happy Friday, February 15th, where we go one, we go all. Welcome to the Matrixxx Grooove Hour. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for being here. And we are just so delighted and so happy and so grateful for all of these Q posts. My gosh, we barely got through half the thread yesterday. We're going to go through some of those today. We're going to head over to do some more that happened today. We're going to talk about the big day, big week, February 15th, the F-15. Anon's new. I want to welcome another Anon that knew this. Hello, Shady Groove. Welcome.
Hello, all of you great Patriots out there, Matrixxx, Q, POTUS, anyone that might be listening. This is incredible to be getting this much information right up front, day to day. Look at how everybody's moving it around. This is getting ready to get really good, Matrixxx. That we're set up. The stage has been set. The table is set, just like the president said. Came out just now, introducing his emergency order, watching them flop around like fish on land again. It's just so much fun.
Wow, I know, right? This has just been an amazing day. We've had a Q is amazing week. Q has been active all week, and want to welcome our Periscope viewers. This is our third one, and YouTube. Hello. I do notice a mistake, a spelling error, that I think we have the wrong date on the stream today on the YouTube, but we can change that on YouTube. I don't know if we can change it on Periscope, but welcome. It is the 15th of February. It is Friday. So thank you guys very much. And wow,
we will be going through. We are going to be going through some of the posts from the 14th, so it's not completely
right. It's not completely off base, right? So it's continued. Well, 14th through the 15th. So we'll have to do one of those kind of marathons someday, Shady. Right? Take some calls. In fact, that will be something that we might be doing in the near future. So you guys can call in. Nobody else is doing that. We want to hear from everybody, opposition included. But you know, the people on Periscope, thank you very much. Heart those videos. I guess that helps us. So give us hearts if you like what you're hearing. go ahead and give us a question if you have a question. We're trying to watch both YouTube and Periscope, and here we go. Let's kind of get into it, Shady. What do you think? You want to get into some of these Q posts?
Let's dive into another time whenever my good friend was cued. So let's start there.
Oh, who? Oh my gosh, right? So
Who am I talking about?
I don't know. I have no idea. Let me just fix my Windows capture. 1 second, guys. So basically, yeah. What is it? Shady, what would this be? 7 times, give or take?
I think I count 7. Yeah.
Yeah. So for some reason, my Windows capture is not working, guys. Hang on 1 sec, please. Shady, why don't you go ahead and fill some time while I figure this out real quick?
So, like he was just saying, they have been his account has been queued. What he's referring to is Q pointing to a post that was made by his account, and again yesterday he decided to put up another one from his account that was the red castle, green castle. This is this is relevant to the executive order and to the emergency at the border, because of what Anons knew about how we are going to fund this wall, regardless of what they say. Okay. So the laser pointer, remember, we've been using the laser pointer to keep them busy over here while we're obviously building wall over here. This whole group he took to El Paso this past week for the rally. Okay. All saw all the construction there on the border and literally didn't report about it. So now we have an emergency executive order, and we're going to discuss that here with looks like you're back up there, buddy.
Yep, I'm up. Sorry about that, guys, but yeah, that was good filler because this was amazing. Let me just go over to the Q map on this one, but this is the IntheMatrixx account. Again, I'll go over to it again, but this the Q team shared this again, so I'm sure I'm very honored. And it says White House POTUS will sign border security, declare national emergency. Q proof. Okay, I'm in another Q proof here because if you look right there, it says Twitter IntheMatrixx. Let's just read it because it's the red castle, green castle meme. And it says, "You will not win, Pelosi. You did not think the largest military spending bill in history, FY 2019, wasn't going to indirectly include funding for the wall, did you? Learn the Constitution regarding vested powers of POTUS regarding matters of NatSec. This was planned and forecasted as the border funding solution from the beginning." And it goes to Twitter IntheMatrixx status, numbers right there. Anons had proof long ago. But shining a light back then would have defeated the primary purpose of showing the public the real objective of the D's. Party of open borders, elimination of ICE, elimination of security, defend illegals over Americans _midterm _election. These people are stupid. So that's Q's post right there. Going back to the map, it goes to Fox News. Politics, McConnell says Trump prepared to sign border security bill and will declare national emergency. Now, I know there's a lot of people that are upset about the national security bill, but if you read this Matrixx slash Red Castle, Green Castle meme, it said, you didn't think the largest military spending bill in history wasn't going to indirectly include funding for the wall. Learn the Constitution, vested powers regarding national security. So he's, I know some people are upset, but stay tuned. There's a reason why he did that, and we're going to find out soon. Future will prove past. So this Q says, after that article there, it says, Anons knew last March? Do you believe in coincidences? At what point is it mathematically impossible? Hashtag winning bigly. Q. That's it. We knew.
And also just to, right, and just to throw in there about what you were talking of the stuff that's in this bill that we're not happy with. The National Emergencies Act that the emergency that he just declared will give him the authority to eliminate pieces of this legislation that are irrelevant or what was the word they were using yesterday? Poison.
Yeah.
So that's that's the next, the step right after signing that was the national emergency, and we do have control over that legislation. Just to put that out there, people can
Yes.
understand the process.
I mean, he's utilizing the system against them, but he's got to utilize the system. Just like you've got to go out and go to work and pay your taxes and all that. We live in this system, and we have to play by it as well. And he knows this system. So there's another post after that. I feel very vindicated after this one as well. It's let's just go to the Q map because it's nicer to see there. So you got Q reminder: Q's cryptic communication style necessary to comply with national security laws is how they entitled it, which is a good title. And it's got the Q eyeballs. I'm Pepe the Frog. Love him. Love Pepe. It's Pepe Q right there. Anon says hashtag winning bigly and how. And then Q said, credit to Anons who deciphered Red Green Castle. Why must we communicate this way? Think NatSec laws. Q. So yeah, so that's interesting, and you're welcome. Oh
Right.
man,
Yep.
oh man, I tell you,
Time and time again.
right? So I think it's 7 Qs. Thank you so much, Q. I am so honored. I really, really appreciate it, and proud to be of this movement. All right,
A
so
lot of eyes at this time. A lot of people are coming to this new. So being just being a direct and show that the future proves past is going to be the easiest path for you guys.
and the eyes are coming, guys, and that's what we all need to ramp up for. We need to be there for our friends, our family, our acquaintances, and just be there for them because a lot of eyes are going to come. So this is 2712. Anon says, got eyes on someone in China early today? Thanks Q for all you do, for all you and your people are doing to unite our world. We owe you more than you know. And Q said, we only go public when we want the target to know. Wow.
And that speaks a little bit to what we were discussing yesterday with the pictures and who they were taking pictures of in China. It being able to decipher who it is they're looking at isn't as important as two things. One, the fact that you're seeing this information, and two, the fact that we are scaring them into making more stupid moves. So that's, the point of this is to keep the players on the board moving. The president he's not going to be taking any prisoners with this. You can tell that the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. And also Anons have lots of nice, sharp new tools in their toolboxes for whenever this steps into the next phase.
That's right. And then it goes into 2714 because memes, we're talking about the tools, and memes are part of that. And memes are important. The example depicts fired an FBI brass connected to Russia hoax and Clinton. So remember when Q said nothing being done? Well, look at this. We've got James Comey up here in the upper left. Former FBI Director. Andrew McCabe, former FBI Director. Josh Campbell, former FBI Special Assistant to Director Comey. Fired. Then we've got second down on the left. Jim Ribicki, former FBI Chief of Staff and Senior Counselor. James Baker, former FBI General Counselor. John Carlin, former FBI Assistant Attorney General, head of the DOJ National Security Division. Fired. Third down on the left. Bill Priestap, former FBI Director of Counterintelligence. Former FBI Peter Strzok, Deputy Assistant Director of Counterintelligence. Mary McCord, former FBI Acting Assistant Attorney General. Fired. Then we've got Lisa Page, right there. Former FBI Office of General Counsel. Mike Cortan, former FBI Assistant Director for the Public Affairs. Michael Steinbach, Executive Director of the FBI's National Security Branch. Fired. Josh Campbell, former FBI Special Assistant Director Comey. David Laufman, former FBI Chief of the DOJ National Security. Randy Coleman, Assistant Director, FBI Counterintelligence Division. Nothing's being done? Well, fired. Then we've got John Carlin, former FBI Assistant Attorney General, head of the DOJ National Security Division. Sally Yates, former FBI Deputy Attorney General and Acting Attorney General. John Galsone, Assistant Director of the FBI's Counterintelligence division. Well, guess what? Fired. Also, we've got Mary McCord again, Rachel Brand, former FBI acting assistant to the Attorney General, Tricia Anderson, FBI principal deputy director, counsel of the FBI, all of which have been fired. And Q says, you want to take that, Shady?
Q says the memes are important. Mod attached regarding FBI only, regarding last drop, regarding fired. Modify, mod. If nothing criminal or treason versus duly elected president occurred, why then did the majority of senior FBI leadership get fired or removed? What do they all have in common? All capital letters. Clinton connection. DOJ later. 2 departures imminent. Q. This is the reason infographics and memes are so powerful. It's one thing whenever we put, you put this in there's 10 Q drops where it shows all of these players individually, how they were fired, when they were removed, going back to last spring. Every blue check mark in the book rejects the idea that this has anything to do with anything. But look at this whenever you see it in a meme and whenever you see how many people this involves. And you're talking about not just these people here, but also their wives. They're all participatory in this. Believe it or not, most of these people are trained deep state. So trained deep state operators in your FBI, in your DOJ, in your SES, in your whole bureaucratic system. Once you're in the club, you're never out of the club. Rooting these swamp creatures out was not an easy task. And just the idea that there's been that many taken care of in 2 years should be recognizable to any logical thinking, middle of the road objective human being, that lots of stuff is going on behind the scenes.
Absolutely. Great. Nicely said too, because this, memes are very important. And if you go to IntheMatrixx with 3x's.com, go under the core.
I'll get it dropped.
Yeah, we got the memes there. So you go under the cores and you look up for the QArmy memes, and we've got them all there categorized for you. It's the mega download, so go check them out, guys. It goes off to mega download. You can grab memes to Red Pill, whatever subject you want. Thanks, Shady. 2715. Clowns in America. CIA are leading attacks on Q and funding Amazon. Washington Post. So, Anon says, is Sather talking to Washington Post a good thing? Just so you know, a little backstory. Jordan Sather tweeted out that he will be talking to the Washington Post. It was about an hour video. They used, I think it was Skype. He showed his face. They didn't show theirs. It didn't sound like it went too terribly bad. I hope he recorded it. I think he did, because that way he can say, well, this is what he said. He can say, well, no, this is what I said. So he protected himself, I believe. Good job, Jordan. Let's see what comes out of it. I believe and am hoping that he will be a good steward and a good representation of Q, like many of us are. Many of us. So then Q goes on to say, more importantly, why is the Washington Post leading attack versus Q? Who owns the Washington Post? Jeff Bezos. Who funds Amazon? Clowns in America. Who targeted NSA regarding surveillance, expose / prevent pre-U1 Iran? Why are we being attacked daily by the largest news companies on the world? That's the spelling error. In the world. Use caution. High follower count. Targeting to direct deep in narrative mob as method to remove. Shady, do you want to give us your take on that?
Well, it looks to me like what Q is saying, that number one, badge of honor, because the Washington Post is paying attention to us. And number two, I feel like they're going to be targeting any account out there that is getting a lot of attention, like yours and many others, to either contact people to try to spin this, or to slander them, or to attempt to dox them. I feel like that this is maybe a little what Q warned us about, the next level of this, which will be, more direct and more vulgar, maybe even, spread the lies even further. But expect to be targeted. Q says that that they're paying attention to us. So believe that they're paying attention to you, and just be careful. What Jordan did by recording this interview was absolutely necessary, just so that he can have record of what was actually spoken. They wouldn't give him the questions up front either. So like, when does someone who's equal in an interview scenario not get a little bit of prep time for what direct questions you're going to ask? So that's the positions they're going to attempt to put people in. And so, all of us that are out here speaking about Q, who are accepting invitations to other platforms, this is part of the reason Matrixxx and I decided to be a team in this, so that we can catch what it is that people try to throw at us. He was just mentioning that we're going to be doing some call-in stuff soon. That's going to be fun, because I can't wait to talk to some of these people who think they know everything, and we can bring the discussion right to our living room. And that's a big part of the new platform with the website, is this, so that they are not going to be able to attack us in our own home. I think that that's very relevant, and I appreciate what Jordan did by stepping into the lion's den. And I would imagine that they're going to try to twist it and turn it, but I think Anons have Jordan's back in this.
Yeah, he's doing a good job, and everybody has their own reason why they're here. He does, I do, you do, people watching in Periscope do, and YouTube. But we're all after the ultimate goal is freedom. That's really the bottom line. So that's the Q post for that. And Jordan Sather, good luck. I can't wait to see it. I am, kind of nervous as well for you, but we'll see how it goes, and we'll go from there. So that's the Jordan Sather one. And 2715 Q says, spelling error by mistake on the move, not, because the use caution high follower in narrative mob as method. Wait, where was it? On the world. News companies on the world. So it should be.
Yeah, it was honest to the end.
Right, exactly. So use caution, high follower count, targeting to direct deep in narrative mob as method to remove. They're trying to remove all things Q, guys. And we can't have that. This is called freedom of speech. That's what we're all about, as Shady mentioned. So we got 2717, Shady. This is effective today. Mueller reports to Barr. Killbox coming weeks, Q. And it goes to the Justice Department on Twitter. And it's their announcement, I believe him accepting it into the Oval Office. Let me just come back to that for some reason. It's taken forever. So there it is. So it's the Justice Department. Welcome back to the Department of Justice, Attorney General Barr. And there he is swearing on the Bible right there with our president. Amazing. So thank you. Welcome, Barr. Stormy Joe Patriot believes that he might be the stealth bomber. So stay tuned for more on that. We're going to talk to him soon. Amazing Patriot. We've got 2718, Shady. Do you want to go ahead and read this one?
Yeah, he was dropping the Twitter of Run the Race, and he says, how is that possible on the same day as the Barr confirmation? What a coincidence. Define the word plan. Okay, so think about that. Okay, define the word plan. Look how we have the confirmations coming straight from Q and straight from the president. Now, so much more of the information that you're getting is coming from the president, as opposed to your own research. He's showing us what to pay attention to. And, what with the F-15s knew the day was going to be the shutdown day, national emergency day after the Barr confirmation. Also, a couple other things pointed in and out of this, but really interesting stuff to see how we're hitting these marks within a day or so of plan.
And I want to just let you know that Running the Race does have me blocked for whatever reason. Probably fell for the crap that the mob is going after. A lot of the Anons I see, they're going after iPod, they're going after Jordan, they're going after Medic, they're going after me. But for whatever reason, at To Run the Race has blocked me. Just wanted to let you guys know that. I have done nothing to run the race. So that's interesting. I can't see what it said, Shady. I'm sure it was good, though. As we're all working together. So POTUS calls for the Great Awakening synced with the Q returning publicly Q proof. This is Normie Woke AF, and it says, "What a coincidence! Return publicly, pace picking up? Question mark Q." So that was Normie Woke AF, and that one is loading right now. And
this
there
was
you
a
go.
video. This was a little video from the president from a couple of years ago talking about the reawakening, and we're reawakening the American spirit, and we're reawakening the patriotism, and made the connection yesterday back to this. And then Q posted, what a coincidence. Well, maybe this is more proof of a time machine, Matrixx.
Yeah, I mean, he's calling for a great awakening. There's no doubt about it.
He was calling for it, right, like that long ago. So I think Q is wanting us to see how long this man has been on your side.
Absolutely, that was amazing.
And on this mission that we're on now.
So then Q posted that same Twitter status, and President Trump on national security, "We are calling for a great awakening of the U.S." And that was the conservative Karen at Normie, NORMIEWOKEAF. Amazing. Just amazing. That's a screen grab. So that's that. And then, oh my gosh, look at this, Shady. Whoa.
Here it comes.
Yeah, I love it. Pain. That's it right there. Pain.
Wait till you hear these next couple posts.
Yeah, you know what I want to just real quick show you that I thought was real cool. Look at my Twitter posts for today. I know Q uses it a lot. We all do, but I thought that was pretty cool. Posted at 7:45 using the Punisher for my thread opener, and also mentioned in the Q post. I'm sure it's a coincidence. I just thought it was really neat to see what I used. Q does this all the time, but I just thought it was awesome. That's all I'm saying. I love the Punisher.
We love what it represents.
Oh yeah. So why don't you take 2722, my friend?
So right after Q drops us another meme of the Punisher, we get no mercy, no bargaining, a traitor's justice, and then pain, all caps, separated Q. Very, very interesting because of what you're seeing. Look at this. Look at what, like what we were talking about earlier. We're showing them things, okay? This is a message to them. We're not playing around. You have already lost the game. The ones who do not know, know now. This is getting ready to be mainstream. This is getting ready to be part of our everyday conversation. You heard, if you paid attention last night, for the first time, I heard multiple people, commentators on Fox saying the word deep state coup, okay? That is huge, guys. It's not, I know you're desensitized to a lot of this information. The idea that people are taking a deep state coup seriously and pointing to a deep state coup and calling it a deep state coup on the mainstream media is enormous. I cannot possibly even share with you how huge this is and how indicative it is of your hard work and of where we've come in 2 years with this president. This is not a game, okay? It's fun for us to watch, but this is not a game. These people are sick, treasonous traitors. You're going to see justice. We're promising that you're going to see justice, but you're also going to see something that you haven't seen in a long time, which is your friends and neighbors calling for it, okay? It's one thing for us to be calling for it. It's another thing for it to be an open conversation between all of us. And now it's starting in the news. We're getting, a little bit of a warning here of what tactics they may use because of this. So I want everybody out there to be extremely aware of your surroundings, especially if you're in public, and do not hesitate to let authorities know if you see what you perceive as shenanigans going on. Okay, we are the eyes and ears for Q out here on the ground. We see that he sees a lot. We see that he's telling us a lot, but please pay extra attention and understand no mercy, no bargaining, a traitor's justice. Okay, we know what a traitor's justice is. We're going to talk about that here maybe in just a second. That's Q post number 2722.
Pain.
Right?
Pain. So that was awesome. And I'm just trying to catch up real quick on my thread because I actually screwed up a little bit. 2722, we're cruising down to there. There's the Punisher guy. Love that dude.
Yeah.
No mercy, no bargaining. A traitor's justice, pain. How you guys doing out there, Periscope? Let me just say hello to you guys. False flag already. We don't know yet. Thank God for Q. Thank you. Truth Seeker QSD. See something, say something. Exactly. Shady was just saying that. That's exactly right. Stacy Maid says lots of false flags this weekend. Be safe. Thank God for Trump and Q. Kelly 270 or 2727. Paula, thank you. So we got who's got the info about the Blackhawks? So Mass Gooder is saying who's got the info on the Blackhawks? Tune in to the Q Lounge Live tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern time, 10 p.m. Eastern. I think Shady has got some good stuff on the Blackhawk stuff. So stay tuned for that.
We're going to go more in depth in that. And here I see Allison Brown from YouTube is saying that Hannity has been saying deep state for months. Just saying, I understand that Hannity has been saying deep state for months, but you have to realize that's been an echo chamber. No one's moving that information around. They're compartmentalizing it to him, and what Hannity refers to as the deep state, okay, isn't necessarily referring to the quote unquote deep state that we're referring to. Okay, there's multiple levels of this. Deep state is deep state, yes, but there is a worldwide cabal here that is in control of all the financial situations in every single country. We're focusing on Mueller and the FBI and the laser pointer of that aspect of this. But the deep state as being a larger ring is what is being exposed. Maybe just to clarify that a little bit.
And I think we've been brainwashed. Oh, a deep state coup. Oh, what is that? That sounds lame. Oh, it's a deep state coup. Would you like some gray coupon? Look, a deep state coup means they're trying to murder our president. Okay? Right. They were trying to take out our president and usurp his presidency of a lawful election that he won, that you and I voted for. They wanted to it's not a deep state coup. It is a plot to assassinate and take over the United States of America. It is a coup. It is a hostile takeover.
Well, let me maybe throw something in right there. This is where this gets conflated. The 25th Amendment. Okay, you've heard these people talk about the 25th Amendment and what the 25th Amendment. Well, they don't tell you what the 25th Amendment means. Okay, the 25th Amendment doesn't mean that, we can remove a person from office. The 25th Amendment was put there in case of a situation like happened with JFK. Woodrow Wilson talked about the idea of someone being mentally unfit for the job. Okay, so it's almost like the idea that they're talking about a 25th Amendment is the recourse of the president being injured to a point where he cannot fulfill the duties of his job. Okay, think about that for a second. The 25th Amendment is a little bit bigger than any person in the media is explaining to you. It means more. It means what Q pointed us to before, which was what would you do if you had evidence of the number one, number two at the DOJ, FBI attempting to kidnap or harm or maim the president or his family. Listen to this. This is bigger than and I think a couple of these posts that are coming up, we're going to maybe shed a little bit more light on that. But man, this is not willy-nilly. They throw this around on the news like, this is the 25th Amendment.
We need to get loud.
It's just some sort of it's just sort of they don't explain anything to anyone.
It's a deep state coup. Oh, never mind. Right. And look, the DOJ
like grapes with that.
Q post 2722 truth push. The DOJ held meetings on how to oust President Trump. Oh, how to oust President Trump. What does that entail? And is that illegal? And is that the definition of a traitor? People, this is our country. I don't care what party people are wanting to identify themselves with. There will be no parties if we don't get a hold of taking out the garbage, drain the deep state. This is absolutely amazing what is coming to light. Q post 2723, but I think it's 2724 now because they did put that Q post in there that did not have a trip code. So that's why this numbering is a little off from yesterday. 2723 talks about a traitor's justice, phase 3, panic in D.C., Rats everywhere. For those who decided to save the taxpayers some money, there is no escaping God. Q. Wow. Wow.
Now, what does that say to you guys, Anons? What does that say? Look at that right there. For those who decide to save the taxpayers some money, there's no escaping God. Okay, that is telling you to please go ahead with your
Suicide weekend, God forbid. I mean, I hate even saying it.
Let's go ahead and take the pill so that we can just move on. The very next post right after that says 2725, or which the numbering may be different for me. Chatter: Bill and Hillary's public health will begin to rapidly deteriorate. Q. Who knew that? Who among Anons knew that? We all knew that. That's the exact thing they're going to do.
Right.
They're going to step into this phase of, and I was saying this yesterday on the way to dinner last night. This is the moment. This is the moment where all the rats in the scheme here are going to start turning on each other. And what we're going to do is we're going to stand back and we're going to watch them turn on each other. You already got, the media reporting things they shouldn't be reporting, and congressmen who are obviously deep state swamp creatures all of a sudden coming to their senses. The vote was 55 to 45. We have momentum here, and we're going to give them the opportunity to cut themselves to pieces, and then we're going to pick up whatever is remaining and house it and feed it and hopefully try it and get rid of it.
Rat fur is going to be everywhere, guys. So be careful. Wash your hands a lot because it's going to get messy. Again, and Bill and Hillary's public health. This is not their physical health. We know that that's already ailing. It's their public health. It's, they will turn on their own, is what Q kind of mentioned to us. They're going to make them look bad to the public, to the people that wanted to vote for Hillary, to the people that voted for Bill. They're going to make those Bill and Hillary people look bad. And that's what their public health is going to be negative. So it's going to deteriorate rapidly. So it's going to, start out slow and get hotter and hotter and hotter. And you cannot, back to this one, there is no escaping God. That's basically what and that's basically the wrap up of my thread there, Shady. And woke up this morning to some more.
We'll go back. Now we'll start in on the 15th.
All right, let's do that. So let me find the thread here, guys. Donald J. Trump. Oh, that was awesome. If you guys didn't see this video that Donald Trump, it was amazing. It was the Carpe Donktum video of all the faces and him smugly looking at everything. Oh my gosh, he was amazing. A great video. Real Donald Trump just tweeted that. And Shady, maybe we'll go over it on the Q Lounge Live tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern.
I was planning on playing that one tonight.
So that's why we're going to cover a lot of the Q posts. And tonight will be our relax. Let's get the troops together. Let's sink in what happened this week. Let's talk about it. We're going to go from there. Q Lounge Live tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern. That's 7 West. So that's on this channel right here on YouTube. And I don't know if you want to restream it again, Shady, or do you want to go ahead and do it the old-fashioned way? Do you want to throw it? Are we throwing that on Periscope tonight?
I'm not sure. I haven't decided if we're going to be able to, if we need to set that up preliminary or not. I'm not sure we'll be on Periscope with that.
All right. We can, though. It's just going to be a different way. All right. So we'll figure that out, guys. We'll let you know. Watch this Twitter thread here in the Matrix. Look at Shady. Look at, just be aware. But 10 p.m. tonight. So this is my thread for Friday, February 15th. QAnon posts. Basically, we're going to kind of go through some of these. Be alert the next 10 days. FF attacks may be carried out in attempt to change narrative, negative optics. High possibility of multiple day coverage event forcing pause on news. Okay, so see something, say something. So a multiple day coverage event. So if there's some sort of false flag, how news just stops and it focuses on that and nothing else.
And look at how they can shift. I mean, we've shifted. You watched them last week shift the priority from quote unquote infanticide, or killing humans at 9 months old, to a person who wore blackface 35 years ago. That was the pivot. So, Q is saying, be careful, pay attention, watch for the pivot.
Yep. You want to do 2727?
And so 2727, he was responding to an anon who said, I don't think anyone is surprised. Got to be the bottom of the pit to harm another human being the way they do, hang them high. And this link was to the new bill, or the lynching bill, that the Hill says that, or the Senate passes the bill to make the lynching a federal crime. Very interesting that they're talking about lynching. And it says, in the past, what was the punishment regarding a traitor? Coincidence? And I would like to just maybe mention to anons that aren't aware, the great state of Utah still allows a hanging.
Yeah. Or was it fire squad or hanging?
Either.
Death. So the punishment of a traitor is death.
That's right.
They passed a law.
Is irrelevant.
You see, they passed a law where you can't lynch anybody anymore. Because why? Why, Shady? Why did they pass that law?
It doesn't seem like we have a big lynching problem. I don't know. Call me crazy.
Maybe they're getting prepared. I don't know. I'm sure that's just a coincidence.
I've got a feeling that that little law will not stand in the way of our great military.
I love it. Love it. Then we got Q2728. And basically it goes to a video Fox News anon that we've already seen. But it says the DOJ held meetings on how to oust President Trump. Why, hours after the election, did 7 people travel to an undisclosed location to hold a very private and highly secured / guarded meeting? Anons knew it beforehand. And Q says, you have more than you know. It's all there. Future proves past. Q.
Yeah, it is all there. I mean,
yep, they went to a skiff, right?
Yeah, we that was right at the beginning of the drops. I mean, we look at what, like I said, there's so much stuff to be pointed back to, and this is so helpful to just be, able to point us back to that to those highlights to say, okay, we'll bring this forward, especially like some of the stuff we're getting ready to move into now as an example. Q giving us the example of what happened, what nobody talked about. Like this was a helicopter. Okay, I mean, you got to be kidding me. I mean, think about the things that they're actually putting out there. It's one thing whenever you're calling a flying saucer a meteorite, but it's another thing whenever you're calling something like this image here that we're going into in a second.
Now the DOJ held meetings on how to oust a president. Guys, do you understand the levity of that? Oh, the Clinton Foundation did pay for play. That's illegal and requires jail time? And you're accepting that? You're accepting that the DOJ held meetings on how to oust President Trump? You're accepting that the Planned Parenthood is equal to the word abortion or whatever? They are evil. They're paying and usurping elections. Anybody, whatever party you believe in, this should not happen at all. The DOJ held meetings to oust our president. There's a third-party company that makes millions in profits, and they're usurping our elections and using our taxpayer money to elections. Guys, wake up. Time to be loud, be proud, and be heard. Shady, we'll jump into 2729 if you want to go ahead and take it.
Yeah, that one's got the picture of like I was referring to there a second ago. This is the helicopter taking off. We're flying maneuvers, and we're doing surveillance straight up. Actually, we've put some rocket boosters on the bottom of this helicopter, and it kind of looks not like a helicopter. Q says, remember the cover story for this helicopter? Coincidence regarding Air Force One, regarding California route, North Korea, or CA route, North Korea, bigger than the 25th Amendment attempt to remove. Depth of this is very serious. Q. This is referenced back to, it doesn't actually say the date whenever this I think this was late spring, maybe. From
June 10th, 2018.
Okay, yeah, right before summer. A launch from Washington, okay, towards what? What was going on around that time? The Singapore meeting, okay, POTUS in the air, flying, an Air Force One, okay.
This was an attempt to kill our president.
That's exactly what this was.
Okay. Let's not sugarcoat things anymore. This is insane. and the people attacking this information to get out to the real public is insane. This needs to get out. And this needs to get out for the good of our country. Republican, Democrat, Independent, Green, Blue, Orange Party, whatever party you want to be with, this is insane.
Right. It doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. Okay. We come off of competition, and come off of sides, and come off of your high horses for people who think that, that they understand this stuff. Like, we're all learning in real time, and we're all learning at the same time. This is information. This is an attack on our president. This is a provable offense by the deep state, the Brennans of the world, the Clappers of the world, the Comeys of the world, to get rid of your president. Because why? Because he stands up for you, and they have to silence you. And the only way they can silence you now is to get rid of him. And it's what they did to Lincoln. It's what they did to JFK. And it is what they attempted to do to Reagan. Okay. Anyone who speaks for you gets a bullet. Remember that.
Yeah.
That is huge. This president has went 2 years. You're 2 years in. When was the last time you were 2 years into an administration? And
he still liked him.
Not that you still like him. We weren't bombing some innocent people somewhere for no reason.
Yeah.
I mean,
stopping North Korea.
That's the deep state play. You get the new person in there, and then you immediately go into funding these operations and wars so that we keep the defense contractors happy and make sure that the contracts don't end. Perpetual contracts, perpetual government, perpetual bureaucracy, perpetual bullshit. You know what? So
yeah,
this is, it's got both of us worked up, because the voice, the Q is telling you, use your voice and tell people about this. Okay, they're going to call you crazy. Deal with it. They've been calling me crazy since 1994. I'm fine. Okay, they can call you whatever you want.
I've been right a lot too, even though I'm crazy. Hey, Shady, and this is the kind of president we are today. When he declared the national emergency, he honored people that had fallen husbands and wives, I believe. It was very touching. And this is the kind of president we have. And this is a Q post. So whoever the Q team is, and we do believe that they work closely to the president, almost 10 people, 3 non-military, 2730, and Anon says, wife a burned amputee veteran here. We are ready. We are with you. We will continue to fight. Godspeed, Q+++. Q says, your husband answered the call as a brave and selfless patriot. We are forever grateful for his service and sacrifice to this country. May God bless you and your family. Honor and respect. Q. That's the country I live in. That's the country I live in, guys. Honor and respect.
That's right. And that is what your leader is representing. I don't care what anybody else wants to call it. I mean, that we haven't had someone stand there who has honor, valor, and respect in so long. I understand that it's confusing for the quote unquote NPC or the snowflakes or the orange man bad. Okay, that's fine. We're going to allow those people to have their opinions. It's okay that they have their opinions. Yeah. Don't try to change those opinions. Try to insert information into areas of people's thought forms that can accept it. That's right. Where your effort is most needed. Not fighting and squabbling because this fact or that fact.
Yep, and I'm proud of my soldiers and Army and military personnel that fight every day for this country. Even when they were in illegal wars, I still respect my troops. I always have. I've always loved the troops. I've always loved the military, and I will always be forever grateful for all of them. Amazing. Thank you, Q. Thank you, POTUS.
Well, yeah, I mean, the things that we have asked our military to do in the last 19 years are atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. And I agree with that statement, but I have no issue with any human who followed orders. It's not.
Everybody goes in. Everybody's fooled, man. We've all been fooled.
We've all been fooled, and we were taught think mirror. We're implanting freedom in Iraq. Okay, think mirror. We're implanting absolute moral chaos in Iraq. Okay, everything is a mirror. What they say isn't what they do, and
no new taxes. What happened? Taxes, right? Everything is a mirror. And we've learned that, except for this president. We can actually prove that he's doing what he says. Go to magapill.com. Look at all those hundreds and hundreds of POTUS proofs. Yeah, absolutely. So
they're proofs that he is
accomplishments.
doing accomplishments, that he is doing things the media isn't reporting on. There's hundreds and hundreds of accomplishments that you don't even see on your alternative news, or that we don't even get to cover because of all the stuff going on the surface.
Yeah, we showed the people where it was in one of the Q Lounge lives, I believe, Shady. But there's no way we could do a 2-hour show and get them all done.
It's only 2 years. What's the list going to look like after the end of 6 more years?
Right.
Think about that.
Right.
Especially now that we've got an attorney general in here, someone that we can work with, and we have this national emergency. We're stopping this mess at the border.
Bomber.
And you can see this mess at the border is getting ready to end with President Donald Trump. Okay.
National security. Thank you, George Soros.
There you go.
That was a Q post, by the way, guys. It said national security. Thank you, George Soros, because he's the one putting the pressure and funding the border issues, right? So thank you, George Soros. Now we can get our wall done and our country back. So I guess we got to thank these guys every now and again, huh, Shetty?
Well, that's right.
Let's cruise into 2731. Perhaps Anon has a clip here, and it says, perhaps could not in good conscience see the world burn. Why, hours after the election, did 7 people travel to an undisclosed location to hold a very private and highly secured / guarded meeting? Why didn't HRC give a concession speech? When was the last time the presidential candidate didn't personally give a concession speech? What happens if the border remained open and the MSM continued to brainwash? And Q responds, think McCabe, Killbox number 2. Interview with meeting regarding 25th Amendment. Think RR in the kill box. Wear a wire regarding attempt to entrap regarding the 4th Amendment. 2 in the kill box accounted for. Remaining coming. Identities remaining coming. Note, border open, context same drop. Border has more importance than what is publicly disclosed. Q. Now, that's what's publicly disclosed. Obviously, we have disclosed what that open border means. It means the MS-13 gangs that the Dems are using, and some of the Republicans, let's be fair here, deep state, are using to usurp our country and hurt our children. The child trafficking regarding Nexium, our ports, our weak spots in Arizona, Flake and McCain, big area. Texas as well. Big battle state for the wall. So, we need this wall, guys. It's bigger than you know. It's their illegal operation because the black market is the biggest market in the world, and that's what they control and run. Not for long. Not for long. And it's not about immigration. It will help immigration, but a lot of the people that come here in real terms are actually real people that want to try to make it here. They're not hired and given money to come here to weigh heavy on our Social Security system, like the Cloward and Piven model. Look that up, Cloward and Piven model. Cloward and Piven were professors at, I believe, Harvard, and they came up with this model to weigh heavy on the Social Security system, and it will collapse it, because they want to collapse our country. All right? And this is not just Democrats. This is Republican and Democrats together. We are MAGA, and we need to be loud, be proud, be heard. So this one, too, I really want to focus on this. Think RR to wear a wire regarding attempt to entrap regarding 25th. So did they use RR in a good way to entrap somebody to admit McCabe maybe did do the 25th? Shady, that's an interesting Q post right there.
Yeah, it is. And also 2 accounted for, remaining coming. Interesting. Somebody somewhere is working with us. Which ones it isn't completely clear. It's not intended for it to be clear. If it was clear for you, then it would be clear for them to understand. Keeping them guessing, keeping the coals hot, and keeping them bouncing around in the frying pan.
Absolutely. Kathy Rennick says, IntheMatrixxx and Shady Groove. People have been so complacent so long. I'm thrilled people see the mess we've been living in. We have a voice and getting results now. Amen. Thank you. That's a great comment. Thank you very much. And that's what we're all here for. We're all here to get the word out. Q post 2732. This one is amazing too. It has a Fox News article, Michael Goodwin, Andrew McCabe is a national disgrace, and we owe him a big fat thank you. So Andrew McCabe confirms that he opened the investigation into Trump. Okay, traitor. Okay, do you understand? So that Q post goes on to say, dark to light. The orders came from the highest office in the land. Q. The highest office in the land. Is that you and me and you guys out there in YouTube land, Periscope? Is that why we elected our president? I don't know. So Q 2733 links to Seven Flamingos. Way to go, Seven Flamingos, on this post. She said that interesting post by at U.S. Army this morning. THAAD, THAAD, is a terminal high altitude aerial defense, an anti-ballistic missile defense system for short, medium, and intermediate range ballistic missiles. Coincidence? Then also posts the U.S. Army tweet. Says, who knows what this is? Here is a hint. Its abbreviation is THAAD. And that was on 2/15 today at 7 a.m. Captain Adon Cazares of the U.S. Army posted that. Or photo was by him. There's your THAADs right there. So that relates to this picture. Do you remember this cover story for this? It was a helicopter, right? Coincidence? All right, so I'm thinking that they intercepted an attack on your president of the United States when he was going over, I believe, to Singapore for the North Korea event, Sky event. Okay. Then Anon says, yes, the F-15 plane pic Q posted February 15th. Q reposts that with the plane pics. Says F-15, national emergency today, Q. And that was this morning at 9:21, before it was actually declared, what people are still questioning, right? So then we've got 215, Q, 2735. Oh my gosh. Repost this blurry picture of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And it says, be prepared for more fake news, disinfo, claiming we stated death. Read carefully. F-15. That's today, is it? F-15Q. So let's read this post, Shady. I'm going to go ahead and just read it because it might not be too legible. It's 2653, Shady. I'll read part of it and I'll drop it to you if you want to go grab it real quick. It says RBG. Wait, let me just go to the next Q post.
Just go to the next post. It's right there.
Because he fixed it before I fixed it. Right. So Q 2653. I can just go to Q map. It'll actually be easier to read there. Sorry, guys. We're new to it. We're doing it live. I love it. We do this live for you guys. Keep it coming. All right. So here's the actual Q post. I'll start reading some of it and then hand it over to Shady. RBG and Killbox. Why was she selected? Who appointed her? Remember her in Killbox's story. Reference, a 230-page book called Sex Bias in the U.S. Code, published in 1977 by the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights. Highlights, called for the sex integration of prisons and reformatories so that conditions of imprisonment, security, and housing could be equal. She explained, if the grand design of such institutions is to prepare inmates for return for the community as persons equipped to benefit from and contribute to civil society, then perpetuation of single-sex institutions should be rejected. Page 101. Called for the sex integration of Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts because they perpetuate stereotyped sex roles. Page 145. Insisted on sex integrating college fraternity and sorority chapters and replacing them with college social societies. Page 169. Cast constitutional doubt on the legality of Mother's Day and Father's Day as separate highlights. Page 146. Called for the reducing of the age of consent for sexual acts to people who are less than 12 years old. Page 102. Let that sink in, mom and dads. Assert that laws against bigamist persons cohabitating with more than one woman and women cohabitating with the bigamist are unconstitutional. Page 195. Go ahead, Shady. You want to take up objected?
objected to laws against prostitution because prostitution as a consensual act between adults is arguably within the zone of privacy protected by recent constitutional decisions. Page 97. Ginsburg wrote that the Mann Act, which punishes those who engage in interstate sex trafficking of women and girls, is offensive. Such acts should be considered within the zone of privacy.
Are you kidding me? Right?
Look at this. Well, I mean, just look at how deep state this person demanded that we firmly reject the draft or combat exemption for women, stating women must be subject to the draft if men are. But she added, the need for affirmative action and for transition measures is particularly strong in the uniformed services, page 218. What in the world? An indefatigable censor. Ginsburg listed hundreds of sexist words that must be eliminated from all statutes. Sexist words to eliminate. Okay. Among words she found offensive word. Now, these are some words you've probably never heard before. Man, woman, man-made, mankind, husband, wife, mother, father, sister, brother, son, daughter, serviceman, longshoreman, postmaster, watchman, seamanship, and to man a vessel. Page 50. Now this is
shady. We might have to delete this video. You just said every swear word that the networks don't allow.
I didn't know that. We should be suing some of these channels. I mean, I keep hearing words like man and woman and man-made and mankind. Like, what are we talking about here? Look at where, you want to know where the confusion about how many genders there are and the confusion about when and where is a pronoun appropriate and how is it legally offensive or a crime. Look no further than our good Supreme Court Justice RBG here, who actually I think has made an appearance today, by the way, Matrixxx.
No pictures. I don't see it.
Yeah, they were saying she showed up for work today, but I haven't seen proof of life. Okay, so we'll move on here. I just wanted to let you know, we got a couple more that are kind of suspect words, like, wanted he, she, him, her, his, and hers to be dropped down the memory hole. They must be replaced by he, she, her, him, and his or hers, his, and federal statute must use the bad grammar of plural constructions to avoid third person singular pronouns. Page 52 and 53. This is not like, we're not making this stuff up. This is her rulings, okay? Condemned the Supreme Court's ruling in Harris versus McRae and claimed the taxpayer-funded abortion should be a constitutional right. Here's the link to that. So who are the doctors currently treating RBG? What other political, former, current, senior political heads are they affiliated with? What off-market drugs are being provided to RBG in order to, quote, sustain minimum daily function? What is the real medical diagnosis of RBG? Who is managing her care? Who is really managing her care? Clock is ticking. Panic in DC. Q, pointing us back to that, showing us that, F-15, we have National Emergency Day. F-15, we have the day after the bar confirmation. F-15, we have supposedly her showing back up. And Q is, or fake news is going to say that you guys said that the lady was dead when no one said that she was dead. We all just wanted to be proven to that she was still alive. It's a little different.
Ruthless. Are we ruthless or not? We need to know because we're Ruth seekers.
We are Ruth seekers and we are united.
And again, we the people, from the highest office of the land, because it's our country, demand that the U.S. Supreme Court shows us proof of life for this RBG. Okay?
And what's going to happen with the cases that are being decided without our the last member of the court, okay? Like, maybe it's better that she's gone. But the truth of the matter is she's not at work. And if she's not capable of being at work, then she should retire.
Yep, done. And the link is really good link, too. It's an article from Tuesday, August 23rd, 2005. Phyllis Schlafly. I've actually heard of her before. Senators overlooked radical records of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I want to know why these senators overlook stuff. And if they overlook stuff, look at that's where all this comes from. Shady, you see this? All the stuff that we just wrote comes from here, from 2005 article. Okay? Not only did Ginsburg pass former Bill Clinton's litmus test of being pro-abortion, but was also on record for opposing what was then settled at the settled that the Constitution does not compel taxpayers to pay for abortions. In her chapter 1980 book, Constitutional Government America, she condemned the Supreme Court's ruling in Harris versus McRae and claimed that the taxpayer-funded abortions should be a constitutional right.
You gotta be kidding me.
Okay, this is a great article to start. Do you think, there's a lot of people, whatever party you label yourself, would not agree with that. All right, and again, Planned Parenthood has nothing to do with abortion. It's much deeper than that. It's much sicker than that. So please understand that as well. Okay, so this is a hat tip to N Torney at NTORNEE at Torney. Did this really good graphic reminding us of this event. Look at this graphic here, Shady. It talks
reminding us of the anomalies of helicopter takeoffs.
And John O'Brien. Okay, so John O'Brien basically tweeted this at 4:47 a.m. on June 10th. This was June 10th at 3:56 a.m. Okay, so in response to a tweet from Donald J. Trump, John O'Brien said, "Your wrong-headed projectionist policies and antics are damaging to our global standing as our national interests. Your worldview does not represent American ideals. To allies and friends, be patient, Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump is a temporary aberration. The American you once knew will return." I don't want his America. I want Trump's. I want my America, not Trump. I want our America. Michael Avenatti said, "This week promises to be very interesting and might want to follow my Insta handle, M. Javanati." Look at this. He had a picture of a plane.
Fighter jet.
Fighter jet in targets. So look at the picture here coming from the VW on the far right, and then the house on the water there on the far left. So very good graphic. I wanted to kind of show you guys that. Again, if you guys need a meme, hat tip at Phil Zantos, Zantos, Phil, Phil. This is a good one. I hate looking at this person, but it's that Q post, right, that we just went over. And it says, so basically Clinton appointed RBG because he wanted the past and the future crimes of kitty blobbling legalized. And that's absolutely what Q is telling us. Okay? 12-year-old consensual. I'm a dad. I would hurt somebody. I don't care what you're saying. So that's the article that you are also there. While we were watching the POTUS, while I was watching the POTUS at the national emergency thing, he said that national emergencies, there's been a lot in the past. And I wanted to kind of take a look at some of them. And I did a screen grab of them all. And it's kind of interesting to look at it. Some are still active, some are not. But here's one page. Here's 2 page. Clinton Bush. Here's 3 page. And here's the 4th page of all of them. Okay. Then there was an executive order that when he was talking about this, he said, we're probably going to be keeping Obama's blocking property of transnational crime organizations, Executive Order 13581. So that was interesting. So if you guys want to actually see, if people say, oh, he created a national emergency, well, let's go show them all of the past presidents and the national emergencies. This is good for red pilling, okay?
And a lot of the way they're moving the money around through the national emergencies is slush funds. This guy wants to take the money and buy steel and build a wall. It's a little different.
Then it says DEFCON 1 stringer marker, okay? So this is odd. It's January 7th, 2018, and it says, it's Q post 497. It says, good win, killbox win, /when, killbox 15, Q. Isn't that interesting? Because Q pointed us to Michael Goodwin today.
Article, yeah.
Okay, that's Michael Goodwin. There's the article. Michael Goodwin, Andrew McCabe is a national disgrace, and we owe him a big fat thank you. Okay, and it says, dark to light.
February 15th.
The orders came from the highest office in the land. That was today. And this article was today as well. So yeah, was it today?
Yep.
So guys, could be a Q proof. Michael Goodwin, win, when, 15th. Here we are in F15, and we have a Michael Goodwin post. So Curious, could be. Another thing that's on the Q clock today, the Q clock on 1927. If you look at the Q clock today, we're looking at posts that Sunday 8:19, the 20th 4:21, and 12:22. You see the blue circled dots. Those are the days that Q actually posted. And if you look at today, it's the 2:15. It's Friday. And if you look down at the 8:19 Sunday of 8:19, it says
national emergency.
It says, cause, define subversion. The act of subverting, lest is being subverged. The state is being subverted, especially a systematic attempt to overthrow and undermine a government or political system by persons working secretly from within. Effect, White House actions. It's involved in serious crimes abuse. That's the executive order. The United States seeks to impose tangible and significant consequences on those who commit serious human rights abuse or engage in corruption, as well as to protect financial systems of the United States from abuse by these same persons. I therefore determined that serious human rights abuse and corruption around the world constitute an unusual and extraordinary threat to the national security, foreign policy, and economy of the United States. And I hereby declare a national emergency to deal with that threat. National emergency, 8:19 on today's Q clock, 2:15, F15, national emergency today, Q. Look at that. Amazing.
5-5.
So that's a really big Q clock proof.
And it's an insight into how this is going to play out. This is one of many of these instances that are coming in the near future.
Absolutely. And I want to really quick just give a hat tip to Jordan Sather. He did this new to QAnon, and he wanted to talk about, he did a thread, very good thread, on the bigger than the 25th Amendment to remove, meaning there have already been a major assassination attempts on our president, and we have evidence for these. So let's take a look down memory lane for the backstory. He does a really good job. We just kind of covered this post. Last year on June 12th, Q posted this photo of what looked like to be a missile, saying this is not a game. This photo was taken on June 10th overlooking the Whidbey Island in Washington by a weather photographer. When this was taken, Trump was on his way to the summit with North Korea in Asia. Okay? This is not a game. Certain events were not supposed to take place, was the Q post. Mainstream media tried playing this off as just a helicopter that photograph was taken of, as Shady was mentioning earlier. And we've got, there's the mysterious rocket launch over Whidbey, and they're saying that it was a helicopter. Okay? So there's been mainstream news on it. And then back on June 12th, Q quickly gave us this saying, think hack, which could infer rogue actors hacked the sub that launched the missile directed at Air Force One in Asia. And there's the sub. Reverse image search. Think hack, comms dark. Okay? Amazing. So Q is pointing to possibly who did this. So ironically, on June 8th, 2 days before the helicopter incident, the MSM reported that China hacked a U.S. Navy contractor to obtain sub secrets. Were they setting up markers for a false flag here? If POTUS was downed, blame China? Interesting, right? So Jordan is doing a really good job covering this. Thankful an assassination never happened. A few hours before the posting about the missile on the sub on June 12th, Q gave us this photograph, which Anons determined was an original photo from Q, taken over Alaska. If you zoom in, it kind of looks like it was a missile intercepted. And there's the photo that Q posted in 1472 on June 12th, and you zoom in, there's something really interesting there. It looks like a cloud with some red in it. I know it doesn't do justice here. Go to IntheMatrixxx on Twitter and look, or Jordan, at Jordan_Sather_, and check it out. Very good stuff. Q posted today, coincidence, Air Force One regarding California route to New NK. A flight path from California to the Korea would take you over a small portion of the Alaska Aleutian Islands, which has 57 volcanoes. More evidence that our photograph above was the missile interception. And there again is the helicopter. And there's Los Angeles to Seoul, showing you where it kind of arcs over these islands here in the middle. You see that? Okay. Very interesting. So I thought that was very, very interesting. Then in the Q post from this morning, they linked the tweet from @7Flamingos, who notes the U.S. Army tweeted about a THAAD, an anti-ballistic missile air defense system, the same day Q brought back the June 12th helicopter/missile incident. What a coincidence. Again, reminding you of the Q post. Here it is. Here's the Q post. So was it today? This was posted today by our Army, talking about a thermal high-altitude aerial defense, an anti-ballistic missile system, for short. Medium, intermediate range ballistic missiles. Coincidence. Yes, that's a coincidence, I'm sure. Right, Shady?
Yes.
Coincidence.
Absolutely classify that as a coincidence.
Right? And then, so there's an Alaska-based THAAD system that Jordan finds when he did a little research. This is in Stars and Stripes. It's a successful test over the North Pacific last year. The target missile was detected, tracked, and intercepted by THAAD battery at Pacific Spaceport Complex in Alaska in Kodiak. Good dig, Jordan. Kodiak, that's right. That's right here. And remember, if you look down at the Bering Sea, the plane goes right around there, the arc, right? There was, in fact, a missile heading for Air Force One. The THAAD, if there was, in fact, a missile heading, the THAAD system based in Kodiak is likely the one that could have been activated to take it down. Q's photograph over Alaska of what it looked to be an intercepted missile. So let's hypothetically say a president for freedom, truth, and prosperity that a horribly corrupted deep state wants to take out on his way to North Korea. The jet that president is in, heading from California to Asia over the North Pacific, they send a missile his way, hacked from a sub near Whidbey Island, Washington. Missile gets taken out by a THAAD missile defense system over Alaskan islands in the North Pacific. We learn all this through hints told via back-channel communication line, popularly known as QAnon. The moral of the story is don't with military. The president is very well insulated, and him and his family are putting their lives on the line for us. This corrupted deep state, folks, this is how they are. This is how corrupted they are. They will go to no ends to avoid defeat, and their defeat is inevitable. Hypothetically, of course. Good thread, Jordan. And that's kind of what I've got, Shady, on the threads. But what do you think about that Jordan thread there?
I think it's very well researched.
Very well. Yeah, he did a great job. So I included that in my thread as well. Go ahead and do that, or go to Jordan Sather on Twitter as well, and YouTube. You can catch him on YouTube. Or, Shady, guess where else you can catch Jordan Sather?
You can find him on our website.
That's right. You go to QArmy Newswire, and we've got Jordan Sather, we've got Praying Medic, we've got Lisa May, we've got Stormy Patriot Joe, we got Shady, we got Matrixxx, we got so many more. We got 412 Anon, who does We the People Insider 1776. We got iPod. We got, oh my gosh, we got everybody here. So guys, check it out. Twitter feeds, YouTube feeds, threads, all their donation links if you want to support them. Direct websites. That's awesome, guys. Somebody was asking today where the Q clock is. It's at IntheMatrixxx.com. You hit today's Q clock. We'll go to IntheMatrixxx.com. Go to the menu. Go to what is it? Where is it? Comms, and then hit Q clock. Once you go to that Q clock, you can enter in any date you want, any date, backwards and forwards. And you want to hit today's Q clock, just hit today's Q clock, and it shows you all that stuff. It's always really good. What I wanted to point out on this Q clock, which is why I'm doing this, is that we've got some posts regarding Panic in D.C. This was the Panic in D.C. Look at that. Panic in D.C. Session class letter to SC Justices 1 to 2 regarding recusal, unrecusal, and clarity regarding conflicts based on unclassified material. Today, highest court authority approval. So see that? That's Q Post 2205. So this is a great way. Panic in D.C. Sessions Huber meetings. This could actually be happening today, right? Panic in D.C. Lynch is talking. Panic in D.C. Blackmail. The power you have is real. Fight, fight, fight. This is real-time stuff, guys. Panic in D.C. D's offering to kill sexual assault allegation regarding Justice K. That might already have happened. But you see where I'm coming from. Check out all of the different Q clocks. And thank you for your service. Look at that. Thank you for your service. God bless and stay safe. Q and POTUS said that today. That's Q post 1569 with the Where We Go One, We Go All. Try to find things that are newsworthy today on the Q clock of the past. So this is all of the different Q clocks. So with that, Shady, I think we've run our course. We're definitely over an hour. It's 4:20 p.m. on the East Coast side, Friday, February 15th. Shady, do you have any last messages? Last words.
I just want everybody to pay attention out there. I see there's been a couple events that are unfolding right now. We're going to go into those more in depth on the Q Lounge tonight at 10 Eastern, 7 West. Come on over there and join us, and we're going to take a couple of these things maybe apart a little bit more in depth from the week. But thanks everybody for joining us and coming over for an update and being so spirited, excited, plugged in, thoughtful, considerate, and lovable. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you to the mods on YouTube. Thank you, Periscope. We love you. Thank you, Twitter. Thank you, everybody. Anons on the boards. Thank you, Patriots. One and all. I see Trinity has got the phone in her ear ready to take you out of the Matrix. Are you guys ready? Hang on, because here we go. We'll see you next time. This has been the Matrixx Grooove Hour for February 15th. Thanks, everybody.